oh my goodness, I've got audio monitoring turned on and it's driving me nuts. Turn that off. Start again. Hi everybody, so I did an interview this morning with my former university. I did a digital film production degree at Worcester about 7 years ago. I finished it in 2014. One of my tutors got in touch with me recently and asked me to speak in front of his professional practice class, so his third years. And I said to him, I work in a church, it's not really the film industry as such. And he said, that's totally fine. We want to show the students that video production, especially these days, is used in so many different areas. So the following footage is my camera and audio feed from that. But yeah, enjoy. Oh man, I've had a dream for a long time and I still haven't been able to quite get there just because I'm holding myself back a bit. But I was really into video editing and I wanted to go freelance and do that. And I remember when I finished uni, I Google searched like video editing places in Wolverhampton and Birmingham. I must have wrote about 30 emails to all these different places. I was like, oh, I'm just graduated. I'm looking for, experience or anything. I wasn't even looking for people to pay me, just kind of experience. And of the 30 people, probably 2 got back to me. So I did a little bit of freelance work, but I think I just sort of lost my confidence with it because it was kind of, I was like, I need a steady income, really. And then the interesting part is about 3 years ago now, the church that I go to is actually looking for a finance and administration assistant, which nothing to do with video or anything, but I figured, you know what, that sounds fun, why not? And so I applied for that, got the job. And so my current role, I still do the finance kind of stuff. I deal with gift aid. So it's a church, but it's also a charity. So I deal with all the kind of people who donate, they gift aid their donations. I fill in a big massive form, send it off to HMRC, and then we get the gift aid back. As well as that though, we started doing what we call video notices. So during the church service, we'll have we worship, which is a band will go up and we sing songs together. And then we have the notices section in the middle. And a lot of the time it sort of goes on, people just talk, and that can kind of eat into the message. So a preacher will come on after that and it'll eat into that time. So we started doing video notices, and what would happen is I'd record with a couple of people during the week. I'd edit that, and then we'd play that video during the church service, which was really awesome. More interestingly, obviously last year we had to close because of lockdown and everything, and we were like, goodness me, what do we do? Lockdown, we can't have people in, but we still need to provide this kind of, it's it helps people with mental health, doesn't it? Being able to go to church and connect with people. And so we were like, we need to live stream this, but what do we do? And so quite quickly we went from 0 to 100 we started this time last year. One of our pastors literally used his phone on the kitchen table, just recording that, sending it onto YouTube and Facebook. Then we started using a platform called StreamYard, which is where you could it's like this, where you can invite people in, but then it would stream out to, you'd pick your destinations. And then we moved on to OBS, which is a streaming software. And then we started having people back in the building, but distanced, obviously with masks and everything. But we'd still have the kind of live stream element of it. And so we've now got this video switcher, we've built a team, we've got 2 cameras, we've got a PA desk. We had the PA desk anyway, but we've just built on it, and it's been awesome the last year. Yeah, I had a lot of help. It was a lot of what do I do? I don't know how to make this happen. But fortunately, there's been a few people who have given me advice along the way and said, we use a Blackmagic Atom Mini. I don't know if you've heard of one, but it's little box. It's about this big. It's got 4 inputs. We just switch with that. Lots of Googling, lots of Facebook groups for help, all that sort of stuff. So what we really want to do is we've got the PA desk and the vision mixing stuff all at the back of the room at the moment, because before it was just PA, and we'd have a person on multimedia that would change the projectors at the front. So we'd have the lyrics on, and then we'd have the videos and images and whatever else went on the projectors. But now obviously we've got the video, the vision mixing side of things and the live stream side of things. And the sound for the live stream obviously has to be mixed differently to how it is in the room, but that's been a bit of a struggle for us just because it's actually my husband that does the PA. But we just haven't had the people, we haven't had the team. So I think what we want to do next is take a like get someone else in, obviously, and separate it. So we have 2 desks, one to mix the live stream mix and one to mix the in the room. So yeah, there's plans for going forward. I'll be honest, it has been quite stressful at times. It's been like, oh my goodness, like if this live stream fails, then no one can watch the service, or if I haven't recorded this, then like no one's going to see it. And it has been a bit of like oh my goodness, I'm going to screw this all up. But it's been great to build and develop. And we do have a meeting like every Monday after the Sunday service where we sit in our office. We've got TV in the office, and we sort of watch through and we say, oh, this person, because we've got a band on the stage, we have to obviously socially distance them. But for camera angles, it's quite tricky because sometimes you get like one person in front of another person and you get someone's head like sticking out behind someone else. So we've had to work through lots of issues like that. Media was part of my job anyway, but yeah, we want to expand the team, and we do want to carry on with the live streaming going forward. So yeah, we're getting loads of... We just switched it just back to YouTube because we were on both Facebook and YouTube, but we figured let's go with YouTube because that's the video platform almost. You know, Facebook's got the social part, but really it's YouTube that's focused more on the video, and it's better quality, I think, in YouTube. So yeah, we've just grown and grown. I think we've got about 650 at the moment, but we started last year. I think it was just over 200. So in a year, we've made like 400 subscribers just doing live streams every week, which has been pretty cool. And to think we only have about 150 like church members who came to the church before the lockdown. It's people all over the world that are watching now, which was a reach that we never had before. I mean, we're so like excited about being able to reach everybody all over the world, and we've got contacts in Mozambique because we support a children's home in Mozambique. We have sponsors who send money, and we send money over there. So there's a church in Mozambique as well that we're sort of partnered with. I was going to say, actually, do you still do the I forget what it was called. I didn't do it myself, but it was the module where it was like a live video production. I think you used Final Cut 7 for it. It's quite a few years ago now. One of the things I was going to say was that even though I didn't do the module, I think like the technology's just developed since then anyway, and like learning it now on the job hasn't been like a hindrance or anything that I didn't learn about it before. And I was actually working with somebody in Wolverhampton. I did a edit job for him and he paid me for it. And then I just sort of stopped contacting him because I really lost my confidence with it. And I think it's just really important to remember that we talk about professional people, and like there's almost a fear of you have to be perfect to be a professional. And I think a professional is just anybody who is doing a job, say like video editing or whatever it might be, and being paid for it. That's what professional is. It's not like you have to be perfect or you have to do something amazing. And I think a lot of what held me back was my own thoughts of thinking, you know, I'm not professional, I'm not gonna do this, or even that the income would be sporadic, that I wouldn't, you know, get people's interest, get people wanting to ask me to do jobs for them. So I was like, man, I need a regular income. So I ended up, you know, just looking for something. What I really want to do in the next couple of years is try to it's a big step, I think, because I've still got that mental like, oh gosh, it's big. But I think even just thinking about a business, it's not a big scary thing. Like honestly, to have your own business, I think you need advertising. So whether that's your own website or a Facebook page or a Twitter account or TikTok or whatever it is, just a way to advertise what you do. And then obviously the means to do it. So if you're doing video editing, like, you know, a computer that can edit or a camera if you're doing camera work for people. And even then, don't dismiss like free software, because I've recently started using DaVinci Resolve just the last month or two, and it's free and it just does the job that Premiere does. I used to use Premiere for maybe 10 years or more, and I absolutely love Creative Cloud like Adobe, but because I do it as a hobby as well, I figured like £40 a month for the whole Creative Suite is just way too much for me to afford. I can't justify it just spending that as a hobby, so I'm going to get DaVinci. But honestly, using DaVinci, it does everything I need it to, so you don't have to sort of necessarily spend a lot of money on a startup. Meet people, that's a really important point. Just get on with like-minded people, find out what others are doing, join in on projects. One of the things that I did at Worcester was there was a guy in the year above me, I think, and he really wanted to make a lot of films. So he wasn't even doing film production. I think he was doing like a sports degree, but he was like, I want to get involved with films. And he just pulled a bunch of people together to work on films, like extracurricular, just for fun and honing your skill. So like working on films just as a hobby or as whatever, you're building up a portfolio. You can stick it on YouTube, you can stick it on Vimeo. I mean, I'm telling all of you guys this, but I'm telling myself as well, because I'm like, it's actually easy to set up and do. What's holding me back? You wouldn't think, would you, like a church? You wouldn't think that a church would do anything like that, but yeah. Yeah, I think the way I got into it really was that, I mean, the people who were interviewing me knew me anyway, because I was part of the church, but I obviously told them about my skills, but in my CV it said I went to Worcester and I did, you know, digital film production. And I think they just got excited when they saw that, because they were like, let's do video notices, and then that's where that started. But it's just carrying that skill and being like, I can do this, I can offer you this as well as the job that I'm applying for. So bye everybody.